Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm help you out, big brother, little brother.
Hot, yo. It's hot.
You don't function well in the heat at all.
All right, I can see. Yeah, welcome us real quick.
Hi, welcome to Access Granny, your weekly show of entertainment featuring Mr. Antoine and Nina, the original party girl. We're coming to you live from Baltimore, Maryland, but we're reaching so far beyond. We'd like to thank you and yours for joining us this evening. Our special guest is DJ Boobie, the party starter, coming to you from Baltimore. He had some residencies in Las Vegas. Boobie gets around, and we're really excited to spend a moment in time with him, to present him with flowers while he's still here. Hello.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Um, Goodness
I
gracious.
thought I was bad. And you know, my car doesn't have air in it right now.
Yeah, yo,
None of
you've had 9 cars. None of them have had air conditioners in them. I think you.
Not one of them. Not one of them. So
Yo,
I'm kind of, I drive fast anyway because you have to drive faster than the cicadas. See, so that creates a breeze in the
yeah,
car.
but like they're beating the hell out of my windshield and my grill from the front. I dug like 6 of them out today. Um, Sorry, didn't mean to do.
You all shook up, but you're hot.
It's just I'm trying to adjust things going on around me. But yeah, screw those cicadas. They are the devil. I hope they all
They
go
are
back.
large creatures.
Yeah. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Today's show is sponsored by Jefferson Cleaners, 7 locations, 1 near you, owned by Mr. George Jefferson himself. I always got stuff going on with the t-shirts. But yeah, we got DJ Boobie in the building. He scared me a little bit. I was hitting him up and I wasn't getting replies. And I don't do well when I don't get replies from the guests. Then
I
I
have
feel like I got to sit here and talk to you for a half an hour, 45 minutes.
And I could feel it with 47 minutes of just pure wow.
What you got going on in your world?
Daily reminder of vitamins. Vitamins are essential today in today's time. So it's just me. I can't take a multivitamin because I am allergic to B12. B12 gives you energy. So anything that does that, I cannot take. So I have to take my vitamins separately. So I'm just trying to fine tune what I need to add based on what's happening in the world today. I've been the went to a big house party at down there at Walter Smooth Flick. It's a beautiful space.
I heard about this. How was it? Not that I need to ask because I know it was freaking amazing, but
It was the refresh that my soul needed because like a lot of people that I love attended that party. So you had different variations of people's, you had people with no mask, you had people with one mask, you had people with 2 masks, you had people that distanced themselves. So it was interesting watching how the world is opening back up when you're doing big events. But they had like capacity guidelines that they couldn't go over. So they did a lot of pre-ticket sales, which you're going to be seeing that a lot this year. So people need to know how many people can or cannot fit in that building. So a lot of parties you attend this year, you're probably going to have to RSVP first. So that was wonderful. I saw a lot of your friends and family as well. So we had a great time in the sunshine. And they had a free after party out at Safari's. You ever been to Safari's?
is that O'Donnell Street?
It's like at the old travel plaza in Dundalk.
Yeah.
That's like this is my first year being introduced to that space.
That's
So it's
great.
a real big giant space and it's decorated like a safari. So lots of opportunity. Shout out to T Money and crew of Extreme House Nation. I know they are planning their reunion coming up this year. So when I get the details, I'll give you the detail. It's a little tricky when you try to bring your whole DJ crew to actually play, because that usually means you're gonna have to pay for the entire space. If we were
Yeah.
just meeting up somewhere, it would be a lot easier to do it, but you won't get the same effect of them not playing. So that's in the work. Shouts out to all the 2021 brides and grooms, the new wedding couples. Weddings are jumping off around this time of year, really big. Who you know?
My daughter, July the
When's
16th.
the wedding?
July the 16th.
Awesome. Is it here?
It is now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was,
COVID did a lot to people's wedding plans.
supposed to be a destination wedding in Jamaica, but you know, travel restrictions and all of that stuff shut that down. So yes, we will be here at the Mansion Inn in Cockeysville.
Here you go telling where stuff at. What I tell you about that?
I don't care. They gonna know if they yeah. Sit down and we ain't pay for your plate. See if you don't get nothing.
Right. I've been in that situation where they requested that I let guests that didn't RSVP, they had to pay for their plate. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell is going on with Facebook as far as their website right now. The app seems to be working fine. The website has been sucking for about 3 hours now, and that's why I literally emailed your the first time. So
you know what else moves around people's weddings besides COVID? The cicadas. You had people that were scheduled for outside weddings that had to come up with a quick flip to get in the inside. I mean, like people lose their minds. Girls will hurt themselves over those bugs. I'm sure somebody crashed their car before.
Yeah, probably. And I heard that a young lady almost ran out in the middle of Pratt Street during rush hour yesterday.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm not risking my life. But it's funny that you said that about how the cicadas are changing things, you know, as far as outdoor activities, because they come every 17 years, which reminds me that I've now been out of high school for 34 years, give or take, because we had cicadas in 1987, and our graduation from Walbrook was supposed to be on the football field, and it got moved inside, which was very, very hot.
Did everybody fit?
Yeah, everybody fit. I mean, it was Walbrook. We only had about 30 people graduating now.
I understand completely.
No, class of '87, we were kind of big. We were kind of big. It was about 200 of us, which was
a baby,
probably above normal. And here I am on my crutches, hopping across the stage to get my diploma. Yes, give it to me. I earned it. But yeah, that's about it. I don't have anything.
Can you see them?
The nails? What's up with that?
So these are my nails.
That looks like a different ring. That ring is kind of blinding.
It's blingy?
Yes.
Oh no, this is the same ring, bro. This is the same ring. Okay. But you know, my daughter has this thing with trying to make mommy look girly. So I was at her house this weekend and I fell asleep. So when I woke up,
yeah. Okay, so the fact that you were able to sleep through that being done.
You don't know that about me?
I didn't, but I do now.
You never seen me sleep in the club before? Nah.
Every time I see you, you're, you know, in that mode, you're out. Because most of the time you've been in charge of something, you've been organizing something, and you're the one that's running around making sure that everything.
Right. So the minute I'm not running around, just know.
Just sleep. Shout out to our girl Pudding.
Hey Pudding, she's my new Facebook friend. We really should have been friends like 3 or 4 years ago. So I was really excited when I saw her.
Why y'all just becoming Facebook friends?
Because this year, when COVID had us locked down, I started deleting that 5,000 down. So I eliminated like 1,600 people.
Yeah, I think I deleted about 150 today, just out of boredom.
That's not giving them in the line at the market. Clear out friend requests, clear out pictures, because I'm stuck. I can't go nowhere. Especially if you're at the Walmart in Owens Mills.
No reason to be on that side of town.
I live on this side of town.
Well, I did meet my boy Be Easy there a couple of weeks ago when I went to pick up my Be More t-shirt, his BEMORE t-shirt.
That be easy?
No, not the DJ, not the DJ.
Oh, okay.
Eric Be Easy Randall. He owns the Be More Like Us. That's what I was trying to say. The Be More Like Us brand.
Oh, okay. I know who that is. He got a rap truck.
Don't know. I know he has
I think I met him through Jimmy's.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
He was vending.
Probably. Yep, absolutely. And speaking of which, I'm not sure when the next time they're going to be out there at the I Care Foundation or whatever that is. And I don't know the exact address, but I know that it's right on the corner of North Avenue and Pulaski Street. They were out there today doing their normal, fruits and vegetables and canned good giveaway. They have a summer camp coming up that I believe only costs about $150 for the entire summer.
Oh yeah, I want to go to that.
They were giving out free eyeglasses. They were giving out.
Right. She's very resourceful. I like her organization.
Yes.
And she does a lot of stuff she doesn't even have to do.
Yeah.
Them kids gonna be going someplace this summer, doing stuff, meeting people that they may not have had the exposure to. So I would trust her with my baby.
And I will probably be chaperoning. Would you trust me with your baby?
Yes. You're like an amusement park ride. Like just lift them up. So I won't have to be worried. You ever go to the carnival and the seats all taped shut, like don't use these, they have X's. So I'm like, how did you know they were broke? Did somebody fall out of it? And you're like, oh, that seat's broken, tape it down. I got a thing about carnival rides.
You would think of stuff like that. Jesus Christ. But yeah, and they have a whole bunch of stuff going on. I know that they give out that stuff also on Friday. Every Friday they're out there, and it's a green space, and they're in one of those areas in the city that are considered a desert as far as like fruits and vegetables are concerned, because there's not really a lot of grocery stores in that area that have fresh stuff. So, shout out to God, I can't think of the name. Kesha, if you know this name, it's the guy. Nell, that does the fruits and vegetables, the fresh fruits and vegetables everywhere, all over the world, all over the city. But they were out there today, man. She went live at one time, and it looked like the unemployment line. Like it was really like, you know what I mean? They really and they're kind of becoming a staple in the community right there in that North and Pulaski, North and Fulton, North and Monroe area. I think a lot of the businesses are starting to, connect with them and do different things. On the first floor of that building, they actually have a space where if you are a small business owner, you can basically sell your stuff on consignment. You can put your stuff in there. They have artwork in there. They have people that do jewelry and all kind of stuff. And it's there all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can go there and you can purchase it, and they make sure that the artist gets or the vendor gets their amount, and then I believe that the center probably gets a little bit off of it as well as a nonprofit. So it's really a lot going on. That building is like 3 stories. It's like 7,262,000 steps in there, which for me is a lot. When I went on a tour of the building, no, there's no elevator.
Yes, it is.
Is it working?
It was when I was there. Oh. That was 2 years ago, though.
Okay, you're not talking about the same building. You're talking about the building that was next to the church on the side of right there by Coppin. No, different building about 15 blocks down.
What's down to you? Going towards Walbrook or the other one?
Going east.
Okay. I just learned that east. Okay, gotcha.
Going east. So you pass Bentlow and all of that stuff. And then you have like Monroe and Pulaski, and it's right there on the corner. It's a really nice space. You should definitely go and check it out. I can't think of the address right offhand, but I can definitely get it to you. But
Well,
yeah,
make sure you invite me when you get in all tucked in. Make sure make sure I remember.
I might not go back until they get an elevator,
Oh, okay.
unless I decide to
Okay.
stay on the first floor. But anyway,
So,
man. Oh, what were you getting ready to say?
nothing. Just summer's here. It's official. It's hot.
Yeah, it's summertime in this basement right now. God, I can't wait for the AC man to get here tomorrow.
You should wait for him.
I don't have a choice.
At least you're not one of them husbands be like, I'm gonna just go fix it myself, and then we don't have no hot water by the time you finish.
Not only do I fix stuff, I don't fix stuff when I know how to fix it. So I know I'm not going to fix anything that I know I don't know how to fix. If I can pay somebody else to do it, I'm always going to pay a professional.
You should probably drink some white liquor.
I don't have any. I'm not even drinking liquor. This is regular iced tea.
See, I didn't even try to put you on blast. I didn't think it was liquor. All day, every day.
I know you well enough, Nina. I've been dealing with you for how long now? I know you well enough. But as you said earlier, we do have my man, the legendary DJ Boobie, in the building with us tonight. And while we're waiting for him, he did hit me up about 10 minutes before the show started and said that he was going to be a little bit late getting on. So while we're waiting for him and we got a little bit of time, let's go on and rock out. Wait a minute, did that wrong. I already know y'all couldn't hear that. Let me stop it and do it again. Keep forgetting to check that little dumb box at the bottom.
Get started, y'all. Welcome to Doing It in the Park. Your man DJ Boobie on the ones and twos. You know how I do. I want everybody in here to stand up. All my DJs in the building, stand up. We got a first lady of society. I see you, baby. Come on, come on. My little sister G, my little sister Nella. All my DJs on family. Y'all gotta call the police. Y'all have to commit a crime. Let's go. Yeah, come Y'all ready? We're gonna do this, y'all. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Party people, where you at?
And just as I was ready, like really ready to start letting that play and rock out, my man popped up in the building.
Real DJ Boobie.
Yeah, that's like a 13-minute video right there. I was gonna let that rock. That was at the very beginning. He was just starting to warm up. I was gonna let that joint play, and then as soon as it started, my man popped up in the room. So, without any further ado, unless you've been living under a rock, literally, in Baltimore for, I want to say, at least the past 30 years, if you have listened to the radio, if you have touched a club, if you have touched a house party, if you have touched a wedding, whatever the case may be, as Nina slowly creeps away and then comes back. She's so silly. You literally can't not be in Baltimore and not know who this guy is. He's touched everybody in the city in one form or fashion. I remember a couple of years ago, he literally rocked the boat party for us for Extreme House Nation. I've probably seen this guy live. I told Tons last week, I told him I probably seen him about 75 times. I probably seen Boobie live about 175 times. Just because he's everywhere, man. And happy to have this dude in the building with us tonight, man. Let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend,
Mr. Baltimore. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, Boobie, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yes.
Hey, Boobie, where you at, man? Where you at, bro? You where? I said, where you at, man? You got the long distance lens going on there.
Let me see if I can fix that. Wait a minute.
I got you. Come a little bit closer. We like your face, bro.
I'm closer.
I'm closer. Yeah, but definitely a legend, man. Glad to have this guy. I actually had a chance to interview DJ Boobie way back in my WPB radio days. Jesus Christ.
Is that where I got the him for the first time? Maybe.
Yes, I believe so. But had a chance to interview him back then. And then he also him and our boy DJ Pop Rick and DJ Cell, they ended up having a show out there as well.
Sons of Soul.
Sons of Soul, yeah. There he is. He's a little bit closer, my man. What's going on, my brother?
I know I look like I'm all wait.
It looked like you don't want to be here with us, man, but we know we
can be able to hear him.
I don't know how to adjust the camera.
Nah, we good, bro. I know that this is the full DJ setup, so you're not set up for close-ups anyway. But definitely appreciate you coming through tonight, bro. How's everything going with you?
Man, everything is good, man. Glad to be back home in Baltimore. Making some moves, came back for family reasons. Still on the radio in Las Vegas, Power 88 FM. So they keeping my presence known out there in Las Vegas. Got a game coming up in October 8th, 9th, 10th, out in Las Vegas. Potential plans for the Baltimore Ravens versus the Las Vegas Raiders versus Baltimore Ravens. They're thinking about having some Baltimore and Vegas parties. So I've been solicited for those things. Life is good, man.
I have a chance about this big to actually get tickets to that game. And if I do, please make sure that you let me know anything that's going on out there. Because I believe that's a Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
So I will be out in Vegas probably from Friday through at least Wednesday, man.
Right.
And we'll definitely check out anything, especially when the purple, where is it? When the purple is in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Got to make sure we represent. So I'll definitely be there.
Hi, Nina. That's my sister. Hey.
Hey, baby. I miss you.
Miss you too.
Yeah, man.
I'm really glad you're back in Baltimore. I know that, people grow up and they have to do what's necessary. But it's nice to know that you're here.
Thank you.
I felt like when you moved in Las Vegas, was enough people traveling from Baltimore that you could have opened an Airbnb?
No.
Or a hotel?
No. They was coming scattered. But I'm telling you, the rubber was hitting the airport. It was hitting my phone. Hey, I'm in Vegas. Where you at? I'm at work.
That's how it's supposed to be, man. That's how it's supposed to be. And it's funny. It's funny because when we were talking yesterday, Boobie.
Yeah.
We got into a pretty deep conversation, and the one thing that I think was made clear to you previously, and the one thing that I wanted to make sure that you understood, man, was that like you have so much love in this city, And this is the same thing I told DJ Tons last week, man. Like you guys, first of all, y'all at least 30 years, plus deep in the industry, and especially on the DJ side. And you guys have touched so many lives, man. Like music is one of those things, bro, that bring the world together in the toughest of times.
Yeah.
I remember back after the riots, during the Freddie Gray stuff that was going on. And all of the DJs got together up at Be Easy's rental spot, the DJ Be Easy this time, Nina, his spot up in Woodlawn. And I don't even know why I was invited, because I'm not a DJ, but somebody invited me to come out that joint as the media. And it just felt good to sit in a room with about probably 200 or so DJs, all, top of the line DJs in Baltimore. And what they decided to do was go out the next morning or the next day and literally just have all of the DJs come out and do like an hour set on like northern Pennsylvania, northern Fulton, all up in those areas that were affected. And I remember seeing videos that day, man, of the DJs out there rocking. And I'm like, damn, just 48 hours ago, CNN was on this intersection and it was nothing but turmoil and, stores catching on fire and people running up and down the street getting arrested. And now we got these DJs out here that are bringing so much calm to the city. And it just always makes me think, like, man, you guys are so legendary and you've touched so many lives, man. Like I know for a fact I've been to like at least 5 or 6 weddings that you DJ. You know what I'm saying? Seeing you party all over the city, man. So this is just an opportunity to give you your flowers, just like we did Tons last week, and to let you guys know how much you guys really mean to the city, bro.
I appreciate it so much. With that Freddie Gray situation, the city was in really bad shape.
Yeah.
The media outlets were making Baltimore look like Iraq. You had every news faction from CNN to MSNBC, even had Telemundo,
Yep.
network. They were posted up on North Avenue in Pennsylvania for about a week.
Geraldo. You got Geraldo in the middle of North and Pennsylvania Avenue, bro.
We had so much bad press. So me and a good friend of mine, DJ Uncle Al, we came up with this concept, Baltimore DJs United. And that was the birth of Baltimore DJs United. We had the first meeting at B Spot.
Yep.
We talked about the things that we can do, community calm down going on in Baltimore, which was a very bad time for us. And so that was a moment where a lot of us catapulted into the spotlight on a positive note, not just such a negative note with the ride. And I'm happy to be part of that, and was happy to be part of that history.
Right.
And you know what, man? Just to think back on that night at that meeting, a lot of DJs, man. Even though you guys are, you're one and the same. You're also like very competitive, and I think in that competitive mind state, you have little situations and little frictions that come between DJs, and it felt good that night to see a lot of DJs that had problems come together in the middle of that room and solve those problems, because they understood that there was something bigger,
right,
that you guys had to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I feel like Boobie's kind of consistent with his positivity. I know a piece of it is because you've been in the game for so long and you've accomplished a lot. A piece of it is because you're older, so you pick your battles. But I think for the most part, you always been kind of approachable. Like when you meet a DJ, not that I'm a groupie, but I kind of am, but not the crazy. because I'd be so proud of us. You know, my
right.
black men up there doing it right. I'm excited. But I feel like you have a very you don't get in a bunch of the mess. You input where necessary, but you're not overly emotional with it. You kind of like, I'm gonna tell you the way to do this, but do your research and you'll see. I feel like you're a really good guy with your peers. You don't feed into the when you give haters a lot of attention, that's what you're doing. You're giving them attention. You don't really come from that pocket. I appreciate your maturity.
Thank you. I've been doing this at this point. I started at 10 years old. I'm 52 now. 53 in November, God willing. So that's a lot longer than a lot of people have been living. And I've been living that long. Radio, 30 years plus. All 3 major stations in Baltimore and now a station in Las Vegas. Never thought a West Baltimore guy was going to spread his wings like that. But that goes to show you that God is absolutely amazing. I'm just so humbled to be able to do what I do for so long, to be able to touch as many people as I've touched, and just be humble. And the process of it all is just absolutely amazing. And I appreciate and love you guys, both of you, so much for giving me this chance and opportunity.
Hey, bro, I told you, man, when I interviewed you way back at WPB, I told you that you know, when I first like really started getting on to who DJ Boobie was, man, it was those mixes with the, you know, with the acapellas from the slow songs and the club joints and the house joints that you was mixing with, man. And that was something that was just so, to me, that was like the discovery of electricity almost. Like it was so riveting and so different than, you know, because at that time I was really starting to get into hip hop and just starting to be kind of old enough to like get onto the club scene. And so back in those days when, you know, we had the cassettes and we had the dual cassette decks, like you were the first person that I was stealing your tapes from my homeboys down the street and bringing them up to my house and putting them in the dual cassettes and, you know, dubbing them so that I made sure that I could, you know, rock out to them joints, man. And bro, like that, like to just think back to that time, and I'm talking probably like around 84, 85, because I think I was just in high school around that time, just to look at, you know, from there, and I'm not sure like how long you had been DJing at that point and like what pinnacle you have reached, but to see now that you've done your thing in Vegas, I remember a couple of years ago you were out on ships, you were out on cruise ships rocking, and I'm like, bro, like this dude is really touching people now, not only in the city but all around the world. I just thought that was amazing, bro, amazing.
Thank you so much, man. Once again, all to the glory of God. You could have never told me 42 years ago that it was going to take me all the avenues and all the places that I've been. And man, sometimes I get full just thinking about it. I've been everywhere with this music, man. I've rubbed elbows with some people that I used to ooh and ah about on TV, and you're talking about, I mean, within arm's reach and hands reach of a lot of these people. I'm so humbled by it all. I'll never take any of it.
That's exactly what I feel. Like you don't take any of, and you have a beautiful wife and a beautiful family. Is it something that you haven't done that you want to do?
Well, I'm working hard right now, possibly getting a resident on one of the cruise ships.
Oh, you'd like that.
One of the major cruise ships, whether it's Royal Caribbean, Carnival, but I'm trying to like, that's one of the things in the immediate future that I'm working on.
What's the process of doing something like that?
Knowing how to play, number one. Go ahead.
Because as soon as he said, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, Boobie, but as soon as he said that, I thought about Sheila Ford. You know, she had a residence on a cruise ship for, you know, a while.
You gotta have an open format to be able to play for all styles of people. Las Vegas definitely taught me that. Being able to play for people. I mean, to me, there was no color out there. Everybody loved hip hop and R&B. Whether you were from Israel, Pakistan, Australia, the UK, everywhere. And everybody always congregated and partied together in Las Vegas. So me having a chance and opportunity to play at the Blue Martini, play at Chrome nightclub, and play on private events, and play on the radio station out there, it expanded my versatility as far as different styles of music to play and how to segue between different genres of music, be seamless with it, rock the mic, be interactive, and just make sure everybody have a great time. So Las Vegas definitely put me on that next level, taught me how to do that. Being out there.
And you do it. And this is crazy just to think of how far technology has brought us. The fact that you're now back living in Baltimore, but yet because of, you know, the technology that we have today, you're still able to be out on the radio station in Vegas. And I actually didn't know that you were still doing that. So, you know, salute to you with that. How have you been able to change with the times, man? Because I know you come from the days of carrying those crates up and down them steps, man, and those big coffins and everything, bro.
Man, look, I gotta take my glasses off of that. Thank you, God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your story. Man.
Okay. So in your past, who said something to you that you remember today that was a part of helping you stay focused to get to where you were today? Who gave you some good advice?
Oh man. It's like so many people. DJ Spin, one of my great friends, great mentor, and somebody I really looked up to. He's the only other DJ in Baltimore that played on all 3 radio stations. Like, I kind of follow his pattern. You know, a lot of the things that he's done. And now he's an international music superstar, international DJ, just an extraordinary human being. When we were working together at Pro 2 in Reisterstown Plaza, when I first got into music retail,
man. Wow.
He told me,
memories.
Boobie, you touch them turntables. Whenever you play, whenever you perform, play every day like it's your last day. Because it really might be. And so he told me that, and that stuck with me all of these years. So I don't care if I'm doing a 1-hour set for a party or somebody hired me to do a whole 5-hour event. You're going to get DJ Boobie at 100 miles an hour every time. Because I want to create an experience for people. I want to give them something that they take away from my performance or away from me playing an event or hearing me or seeing me on social media, Facebook Live or whatever. I always try to create an experience. And man, I'm just, thankful for all the great advice. Frank Ski gave so much great advice and opportunity. DJ Kid Capri gave me some great advice. Had a conversation with Ed Lover from Yo MTV Raps when we were in Atlanta. I never knew he knew about me. And he started running down different mixes that he used to hear me on 92Q when he was in New York. He used to listen to me on 92Q. I was blown away.
Yeah, that's like you good at that point. You don't have to do anything else at that point when you get that kind of acknowledgement.
I got one. So
But
I know a lot of you.
hold up, because I wanna stay along the lines. So can you put a pin there and hold that for a second? Because he mentioned Frank Ski, and I actually have a list of names of people that I just want to throw out there to you, and I want you to just tell the people what these individuals meant to you as far as your career in Baltimore, your career as a DJ, your career in radio, so on and so forth. And if you have anything else that you want to say about Frank Ski, because he was one of the people on my list, you can. Otherwise, we can go on to the next person.
He said opportunity with Frank Ski.
Frank gave me a chance and the opportunity to be known in Baltimore on such a wide, broad spectrum, a big scale. One of the biggest stages in Baltimore to this day, Hammerjack. I had the opportunity to play at Hammerjacks as Frank Ski, #1 DJ, for 10 years. I played, you know how McDonald's got that over 1 billion served? I got about over 1 million served as far as DJing if I combine the attendance over 10 years of people that partied with me at
Hammerjacks. Yeah.
That was the closest I've ever been to being Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, Prince. I mean, on such a large scale.
Yeah.
Being able to DJ for 3,000 and say, somebody say ho, and I drop the fader, and you hear 1,500, 2,000, ho.
Felt like the roof was coming off that joint sometimes, man.
Frank Ski is single-handedly responsible for giving me that experience.
That's a big experience
Yeah.
that a lot of people never get.
Yeah. All right.
Next name.
So my next name is K Swift.
Oh man,
Good one.
my little sister, a special, very special. I remember the very first time her mom pulled her up to Metro to meet me. And we talked for about 2 hours. She talked about wanting to be a DJ. And we talked about equipment. We talked about delivery and approach, how to market yourself. I mean, we talked about a little bit of everything. And see her star just rise as high as it rose. Being a female in a male-dominated industry and seeing her all the big boys made me proud, made me so proud. Baltimore definitely lost an icon when she passed away. They definitely did.
And I don't see anybody that looks like her, you know? Nobody's reminding me of her skills.
Nobody ever will.
No.
Nobody ever will. There will never
She's
be.
definitely in a class of her own. No question.
Reggie Rich.
Oh.
You see where I'm going with this, bro. You see where I'm going with this.
Great step.
They're not all. I'm not. My list isn't full of everybody that's gone, but definitely these are people that we got to touch on.
That man. When I'm 9 o'clock mix on V103.
Yes. Yeah.
He's doing 9 o'clock mix on 92. We were arch rivals.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
we were arch rivals for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when V103 folded and everybody got fired, he was the first person to call me. Hey, Boobie, it's Reggie. I'm in a meeting. My program director want to meet you. You need to come down to 100 St. Paul Street at 1:30. Don't be late. And he hung up. I went down there. I met with Tom Calicochi, who is the program director for 92Q during 92Q's big heyday. I'm sorry. Can you see me?
Yeah, we're good. You good? Yeah.
Yeah, I sat in the office. He said, so, you're a DJ Boobie. You're the pain in my ass from across the street. He said, Reggie Ray speaks so highly of you, talking about your friendship. He said, but as a DJ, you were a pain in my ass over here because you were just that good. He said, so now, how would you like the opportunity to join a real winning team over here at 92Q with the godfather, Reggie Ray?
Yeah.
And Reggie set that up for me.
Yeah.
I am eternally grateful to him for keeping me in Baltimore radio when my future was very dim after the fact. I got fired from B103 twice, 2 different occasions. And he pulled me in immediately over in 92Q. And I worked with Rez for 10 years on 92Q. When I was down and out, that man put me on parties, put me back on the scene. I owe so much to him. I owe so much to him. I really do.
This is church.
Hold up, I ain't finished. I got some more. I got about 4 more. I got about 4 more names, 3 or 4 more names. The next obvious one will be Miss Tony, of course.
Tony Boston. How you want to What's up? What's up?
He told me one time, don't you call me Anthony.
Yeah.
You better don't you call me Anthony.
I met Tony back in the 80s down at Fantasies and at Odell's. I'm like, who is this big guy with this size 13 pump dress shoe on? And all of his splendor, all of his flamboyance, he was one of the gentlest, most kindest people that I've known in my life. And me and Tony rock party at the party, mixtape after mixtape. And even when Tony made his transition, gave his life back to Christ, and went from Miss Tony to Big Tony or King Tony, I was right there doing that transition. And when his kidneys began to fail, he lived around the corner from me. I used to pick him up and take him down to dialysis after the radio station's meetings. And another great person, great conversation, so many great conversations about anything and everything. Tony was my friend. He was my friend. He was my brother. Another one that's just missed dearly, missed completely. So I owe a lot to Tony as well.
Tommy Davis.
Tommy, you owe me some bus fare. Tommy Davis used to make me spend my lunch money and my bus fare. I couldn't eat, and I had to walk home from Mondawmin all the way down to Lafayette Partner Grove, messing around with that damn Tommy Davis. That damn record player, he's a record playing machine. He would take all of my money every time I went Metro Stereo. But what I will say about him, besides him being a great DJ and a great producer, he's a great friend. And I had the blessing and the honor to get inducted into the Baltimore Music Award Hall of Fame the same night on the same stage with him. Somebody who I looked up to. And that night, we were on the same level, going into the Baltimore Music Award Hall of Fame together. Another great friend, great man, great teacher, great mentor. He means the world to me. Salute to you, Carmi Davis. Give me my bus fare.
Here's my profile picture. I was with him Sunday. Next up, come on.
I wanted to show that picture from that night.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At the center of the theater.
Yes.
I posted that picture on your birthday.
That was one of the biggest nights of my life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. It was one of mine too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you was a hard working sister that night.
I was. And I got all of their autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You coming from my level to be able to actually touch these people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That I can call them my friends. And I listen to them literally half my life.
Hey, Antoine.
Yes,
Let
sir.
me tell you how special Nina is. Let me tell you how special my sister is. Nina came up to Shell's Deli and took birthday pictures for me at Shell's Deli and put them on a disc and printed them out and say, "Here you go, happy birthday."
Here's you. What better present than you?
I will never, ever,
I miss
ever,
them.
ever forget that. The kindest thing anybody has ever done for me. I love you, Nina. Wow. Thank you.
You know, I get quiet when I get to meet you.
All right.
He was asking me that I want to interview you. I'm like, what?
I got one more name and then I got like a group. So my last name is my man Vicious V.
Oh.
This is all sweet. All of these people and him.
That was my ride or die.
That was a lot of people's ride or die.
Nope. That was his.
We fussed and argued like an old married couple. One day he hate me. The next day he loved me. One day he will fight me. The next day he will fight to the death for me.
For you. Yeah.
That man, a lot of people don't know. But that man literally saved my life. I was in a very, very dark place, personally, and a bad relationship. I didn't think I was going to make it. He said, "Boy, wipe your tears. I'm coming to get you tomorrow morning. I'm taking you to church." No questions asked. That very next morning, he came and picked me up, took me to his home with his wife at the time and the stepchildren. We sat in his dining room. We had a full breakfast and took me to church. That became a weekly thing for about a month. He didn't let me miss church. He knew I was in bad shape. I got up that day and I gave my life back to Christ. And he threw his arm around my shoulder and he grabbed me by my hand and he walked down that aisle with me while we committed myself to the Lord. A month after that, I said, "V, I want to get baptized." When I got dipped in that water and I came out, my brother was standing there holding the towel and he hugged me. And he said, "This is the best thing you could have ever done. Little brother, I love you." People never understood the dynamic of the friendship and the brotherhood that I had with that man. It was so much deeper than music. It was so much deeper than DJ. He was my best friend. He was my best friend.
You can't give anybody a gift bigger than that.
Say that again, Nina.
My best
I
friend.
said you can't give somebody a gift bigger than their spirituality. So
No.
even when he's gone, he gave him a gift that will help him with the rest of his life. When you give somebody God, when you introduce them to God, that's the biggest gift you can ever give them.
Yes. Absolutely.
I put a Facebook post up the day after he passed, man, and I said that there was a lot of people that truly didn't understand V, because the only part of V that a lot of people knew was the fighter, was the, you know what I'm saying, was the knucklehead. But he was that kind of dude, like you said, bro, like he would be willing to fight you one day, and then the next day you could be in a fight with 20 dudes and V would be that one dude out there fighting with you. Say, we're gonna take all 20 of these niggas on by ourselves.
He will fight for you.
Yeah,
and I remember when I had Boobie on my show, I think V had passed away maybe the day before. It was real fresh. And I knew that we couldn't go there because it was too new. I knew how tight you were. And I didn't think you'd be able to make it through the show if I brought it up. We did say like a one line of rest in peace, but we didn't open it up.
And you know, the last day that I saw V was, I believe it was the first year that what's the club joint that we got moved to Poly? Collective Minds. The first year that it got moved to Poly, and Casper Bernstein opened the show.
Right.
And I believe V did the sound up there that day. All of that sound system, those speakers and stuff were all his. And I remember walking past him as Casper was rocking, and I was like, V, you good? And he said, as long as my man sound good and he killing this shit right now, I'm good.
Right. He had a way of loving you. If he loved you, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was definitely a totally different experience.
Absolutely.
And he bought me my first hot dog from Crazy John's.
There you go. There you go.
long story, but he bought me my first hot dog from Crazy John's. And the last name that I have isn't just an individual. Talk about the Baltimore, the Sound Vision DJs, man.
Well, they are a great group of guys, and Lady M. Definitely a group of guys. Some of the who's who, some of the best DJs that there are out of this area. We all have that love for music. We had a mutual love for music. We had a love for doing great events. DJ Jamal is like a pioneer as far as bringing the group love together among DJs, whether you were Sound Vision, Be More Make Kings, or if you were just a regular DJ trying to make a name for yourself. He always showed a lot of positivity, a lot of love, and bringing the DJs together. Sound Vision is definitely a big and quality brand. Have branched off and done a lot of great things in the area, giving their own events and being a staple in the DMV area. We also had, other Sound Vision DJs from different areas. Super Funk Regulator CeeLo out of DC moved to Atlanta. Now he's in DC. We had DJ Swoosh up in New Jersey. Definitely a group and a crew that's making big moves. I'm so thankful that I had an opportunity to be a part of them for several years.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, Nina.
Okay, so it's fair to say I'm 50. So that means I've been exposed to a whole lot of DJs. You add the fact that I'm actually in the industry, so that's a whole bit more. Everybody doesn't listen to music like I do, like a regular person.
Right.
When you're looking at other DJs, each one has their own little niche that makes them them. But a wise man once told me that your voice. This is why I love Boobie, because there's so many people that cannot do what he does, nor do they think to do what he does, and they don't take advantage of it. He is a party rocker. So I think you taught me that it's two turntables and a mic. Is it two?
Yes.
That's what makes him, that's one of the things that makes him him. He knows how to use the mic. He knows how to MC while he is playing. So that adds a different layer, another layer to what you're listening to. You can actually say the same thing the same way somebody else did, which you won't. But because you add that layer of your mic, that makes you totally different from 80% of what's out there. That adds a piece of the party that a lot of people don't think to use. A lot of DJs don't talk at all. But the fact that you do and you personalize the person's event because you're talking about the people and what's going on around you, it really adds to the element of your presentation. That's what makes you you to me.
Come on, Nene, you about to make me cry, man. Come
That's
on.
what it's all about. I want you to cry while we can see you cry. I'm not gonna be one of them ones. Movie gone, da 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 da. Every step of the way, I want to be there with you, and I watch you as you grow up. You know, we are all growing up together. But that's why I may pick you over another DJ because of that element. You go to parties sometimes, they never say happy birthday. There's never a mission there. You know, you make the people move all over the room. We're dancing, we're cutting cake, we're celebrating, we're wobbling. Like you are ADD DJ. You got levels on level. So that stimulates me. That works for me. I don't sit down when I'm in a space with you
Thank you.
because you're all over the place.
And Boobie is the master of reading the room, which is a skill that unfortunately a lot of DJs lack. I've seen so many DJs, man, like try to play their favorite stuff and the stuff that they like and the stuff that they want to hear, and for about 15 to 20 minutes, like nobody's on the dance floor because that's not what everybody else wants to hear. You know what I'm saying? You can't be at a 50 and over party playing a 20-minute trap set because you're gonna have a lot of people, sitting down or leaving out. You know what I mean?
You can't play Pooh Shiesty, right, boo?
You can't play 10 straight songs from somebody named Little or Lore or Young or what I mean. You gotta be able to understand, who you're playing for. And Whoopi is definitely a master at that. And as my Facebook now is just starting to act right, shout out to DJ T Money, shout out to my man Wayne Page and everybody that's checking in, that's showing Whoopi so much love, man. I'm telling you, bro. Like you.
Do you have a hobby, Boobie, that's not music?
Cooking.
Cooking. Interesting fact. Interesting fact.
Remember, I used to cook for the doing it in the parks, big ones.
Yeah, Polly. Yeah, he was on the
Oh
group.
yeah. Oh yeah. You got me one year. I was like, how can I help? Oh shit. I crawled home that day. You did. You cooked about hundreds of hot dogs and hamburgers. Hundreds in the heat. I remember that.
And I got a barbecue sauce for that chicken.
Right, the sauce. And your apron.
Yeah, my apron too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just want to make a believer out of me, bro, and you want to, cook out this weekend or something random, just holler at your boy. Come on. I don't think I got the sauce. I think I ate like hot dogs and hamburgers that year you were cooking on Polly.
He's got the sauce.
He's got the sauce.
We just made a commercial.
Look, man.
I have to invite you guys over for dinner.
And
I'll
we'll come.
personally.
We'll be playing. I'll be there.
I don't turn down food, bro.
I don't either.
Down food.
And music.
We're gonna have to make that happen sooner than later.
All right. I'm in. Definitely in.
And if you
What did
pick light,
COVID teach you, Boobie?
Huh?
What did COVID teach you?
Well, it taught me humility, number one.
Mm.
God allowed me to survive and maintain through this pandemic without losing any work whatsoever. I had an essential job working for GE in Las Vegas throughout the whole pandemic. I was able to DJ on Facebook Live because people were shut in. And believe it or not, I made so much, and I'm not bragging about it, but I made so much money in tips till it basically getting back from Las Vegas back to Baltimore. I mean, strictly from my tip.
Now, when I Google you, not Google you, when I search you on YouTube, a lot of content is not because you posted it, like other people posted it, because that's what I do a lot. I'll just find something of yours on YouTube and ride into work with that. That means something, because the quality of YouTube is not 100%, but it's pretty good, but it's not 100. But I want to hear it so bad, I don't care. You know how we used to listen to the radio with static in it? As long as we could hear the music, we okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you got, and you have mastered mostly all the genres. Like you can play anything. Interesting fact, Antoine, Boobie is not what you consider outwardly a house head. You know how they are. For him to be able to be
already
chosen
know where you're
to
going.
play at Collective Minds, and sometimes people, I'm not saying that's what Collective Minds did, but sometimes people will put you up in the light just to see. They're going in looking at how you're going to fail, you know. So they wanted to see you because they was like, I don't know. He killed Collective Minds. We're still talking about that for years. So I felt like that was a great one for the underdog type situation. You killed it.
Yeah, that moment, that's in my top 3 greatest moments of my life.
You did it.
Not just playing it, but playing it.
Being it. That's what you did.
They
were it.
did not expect what I was coming with.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I went and picked up got a good friend, DJ Big Groove. I went and picked him up, and we was driving up the pilot. He said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I'm nervous." He said, "What?" He said, "What are you nervous?" I said, "Bro, I'm about to play in front of a very fickle house music crowd." He said, "Don't play house music the conventional way. Play your house music the way DJ Boobie would play.
Right.
Don't deviate from that. Try to accommodate somebody else. You need to bring them into your world for a minute." And that's what I did.
That's what you did.
In house music that is quote unquote supposed to be taboo. You're not supposed to do certain things.
You just scratch Superman.
But look, can I intervene on that? Because Nina, if you think about it, and this is just being real, Extreme House Nation caught a lot of flack from the house community for having Boobie on that boat ride.
Because I feel like the house heads are older and it's harder to accept change. He's everything that little box has. He didn't fit in the box. And that's why it was a good move, because he didn't fit in the box.
And he,
And then you convert people doing it that way. People that don't really know a lot about house music and they hear him play, he's converted quite a few hundred people in Baltimore and beyond because they want to know where that came from or where they want more of that.
and shout out to Frankie Vibe. You know, that was a DJ that we had, I believe, that came down from Jersey. He did his thing on the boat. He did his thing, but Boobie demolished that boat, bro. You demolished that boat, bro.
For you. When we were cheering for you, we knew, like I was going to say, have you ever been nervous? That would have been the thing to be nervous at. We were so glad that you conquered that. You broke the mold. And that'll be remembered for years and years and years.
I appreciate that. I really do. I mean, throughout my career, I've always been told one way or another, you're not going to succeed on this.
Right.
Or, you can't do this. Or this is not going to work. And I've always been a person with God's coverage. I've been able to conquer anything and everything the naysayers always say.
What's your shirt, Big Boobie?
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Deem yourself king.
Oh, I like that font. I like that.
Shout out to my man Tavon Wilson, Duke Boys Clothing Company, for the wardrobe.
Got them all dressed up.
And that's hey Boobie, that's the crazy thing, because that royal blue, black and white was the colors of the radio station that you were supposed to be starting, that I was bringing my show to, bro.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep, I remember that too.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not sure who Gucci is, but Kesha told me to tell you that Gucci was always your biggest fan.
Yes.
Maybe she's Gucci. I don't know.
That's her brother.
That's her brother? Okay. Rest in peace to the brother.
Gucci.
Yeah. You know a lot of people.
Rest in peace, Gucci. Yeah. That was my guy for real. And Kesha,
you know a whole lot of people.
And Mama Shirley. I love you, Mama Shirley.
I got a chance to see Mama Shirley like 3 weeks ago, man. I was melting, bro. I was like,
That's my
Yeah, Kesha and I go back, man, to like the mid '80s. She used to live around the corner from me. We went to Walbrook together, man. That's my heart and soul right there. Like she's probably the right hip, and I got Nina on the left hip, and I just can never get rid of y'all.
I'm on the broke hip. Boobie, what school did you go to, Boobie?
High school? West Side. Graduated 6.
What'd you say, West Side?
Edmondson, West Side.
Oh, okay. So what's your trade? What you learn how to do?
Well, I was in electronics, but then I ended up getting out, going into college prep, and then I started DJing.
So did the electronic part, did that help you with your music?
No, because I was a class clown. So
I ain't none of that.
That's funny to hear, because I can't imagine Boobie being a class clown, yo. I can't.
He's funny though. You know, when you meet people outside of their spotlight, they can be real people.
I wasn't a class clown, but I had class clown around me, and I clowned with the clown.
With the class clown. Yeah.
I was an affiliate class clown.
Yeah. So what would be your message, man, to that young 10, 12-year-old kid that, you know, is starting to mess around because his mom has bought him a laptop and he done downloaded Serato and he's learning about this controller thing and he really wants to get into this business and take it seriously? Like, what would be your message to that young person?
To stay true to the music, to learn as many styles, as many genres of music as you can. Learn how to play every style of music, learn how to play it well. Because the more versed you become with your music, the greater your shop value is. You can play for a party from 8 to 80, blind, crippled, and crazy. You can play for the whole spectrum. And that's what I prided myself on throughout the years. I could play for somebody's gender reveal. I could play for somebody's baby shower. I could play for an 80-year-old party. So stick by the music, learn your craft, market yourself, and be the best that you can be at the time.
He also was on the brink and edge of marketing yourself. Boobie was one of the very few first DJs that marketed himself. That you got a graphic arts piece in there that gave you a jump on a lot of people.
Yeah.
But in the days where you could be considered being confident or cocky, because you have to market yourself. If nobody else does it, you're going to do it. So you were really good with that, and you remain consistent with that as you're teaching other people ways to market themselves. So kudos, you have a really. I can go to your page and know what you do right away. I don't have to go through 15 corn hubs and 5 horoscopes to know what your job is. That music is very prevalent on your social media pages. Great job with that.
See?
Right.
On my record.
Right. On the skin on your laptop.
Yeah, I was going to say he had the first skin on the back of the laptop that I can remember.
Yep, and he makes them for other people.
And he makes them, yeah.
Right,
Hey,
right.
Hey, Boobie, let me ask you this. When did you really start to understand your worth as far as the business side of it, so that you know like how much to like really charge for the different events that you do? Like, because I'm quite sure that like in the beginning of your career, you might have even done some stuff for free just to get your name out there. But as your name starts to build, like how do you put the price to that name, if that makes sense?
Well, when people started, when they started asking for my autograph, this was before selfies. It was actually asking for my autograph. They was asking me to sign pictures and mixtape covers, all of that kind of stuff. And I said, wow, I might be on it.
This price about to go up.
I might be on this.
Yeah.
Let me, oh yeah, yeah, that's how much I charge. Not only did my price change, but I had to make sure that people was getting their money.
Yeah.
I told them that if they got me, that they was gonna get a party experience like they never had before. And then I prided myself to make sure I gave them that experience. So that's when my work went up, when they started asking me for autographs, I said, okay, let me get a few more coins.
Yeah.
He has price points. Once you play on the radio, that's another reason. Once you something else that you do that makes you very marketable. You have the radio and you have clubs, you have residency, and you're a household name. That automatically is an upgrade.
Yeah.
My question was, at what point did you stop counting money? Like now, I got to figure out my rent is this, my rent is, you get to a part where financially you realize you're not counting it like you were. You have enough. What age was that? Not too much, but you got something where you can say, hey, I'm making some money. What age was that?
Oh man. I don't know, 'cause I'm still trying to make it. I know.
And that's the real question, because the one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that, you guys DJ, but in the midst of your DJing, like you were still working like a regular, 9-to-5 job. and doing all of those things that you had to do, to make ends meet. And
Were you?
yeah, he
Were
was.
you?
You heard him say he was working for working
No, that's
for.
now. I mean, back then. Did you ever have a point where you didn't have to work a 9 to 5?
Yeah, for about
Yeah.
15 years. 15 years, I was DJ. Period. That's it. Punch my clock. That's it.
Yeah, that part. So do you get most of your business from your marketing, from referrals, or from somebody sitting in the room watching you do what you do?
A little bit of all three.
A little bit of all three. I figured if I would go to a party and I saw you, to me, that would be the most effective.
The more,
Because you're doing everything. I left with my shoes in my hand and my hair was sweated out. So I
yeah,
know I will want that for my own thing,
that's right.
Right.
That's right.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
So today's music, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up.
Both.
Oh, yeah, I thought as a DJ you kind of had to.
Some of it I do like, and then some of it just don't make no sense. Some of it, what? Okay.
But when you're out there and you're DJing for that Sweet 16, or you're DJing for that high school graduation, that's what you gotta give the people.
That's why I don't do it.
That's
You be like, I'm booked. I really would love to. Boobie, what's your favorite? What's your favorite type of event to play for?
Anything old school, anything house. Anything old school, anything house. Because with old school music, you can take them back in the time before the babies and the bills came. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Take them back to a time when they had no responsibility, and they can just have a great time. They can let their hair down and go back to high school for a minute. And the house music, that's just a spiritual feeling, period. So,
I went there. My fault. I just went there by you saying it. Who do you know that has all your mixtapes, Boobie? Anybody got all of them?
well, my cousin Rod B down in Atlanta did have everything that I've ever made.
Nice.
And then unfortunately, a lot of it in a flood. But he did have everything that I've ever done.
Hey, at one time, I had about 27 DJ Boobie mixtapes. And we moved into a smaller place, and those mixtapes got put into storage with a bunch of stuff. And we never got that stuff out of storage.
We lost the storage.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
What's the last number that you remember? What's the last mixtape?
I didn't want to be like, dang, Mom, what about, I don't care about the couch. I don't care about the, it's a red Nike box up there that's got about 27 mixtapes that we need to go get. But, I remember at one, I remember that like crazy.
I gotta grab my charger before this phone dies. Wait a minute, hold tight.
Okay, cool.
All right,
cool.
John, saying while he's going to get his charger. Keep the people entertained. I used to feel like Boobie CDs were a secret. Like he had a line of very sexy CDs. So I could go off and I could listen to that when my mom and them weren't listening. I got this little secret that I can go listen to. You have any children from any of his CDs?
Like I said, he used to do the acapellas, the R&B acapellas. And I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, Boyz II Men used to have this song called Ooh Ah. And they did a remix of that, which was a real sexy joint. And Boobie mixed that with some Baltimore club. And I was in West Virginia, I believe, at the time that I got hold of that. And Boobie, you said Tommy Davis owe you some money. I might owe you some money too, because I think I was selling those cassettes for like $5
Oh my goodness, you telling on
all
yourself.
around the campus of West Virginia, because like that was my, that became a little hustle for me. I had a buddy from New York who had a bunch of, and it's funny that he mentioned Kid Capri, because my buddy had a bunch of Kid Capri, and then I had a buddy from Philly, and there was some famous DJ on the radio at Philly at that time, and he used to bring his joints there. Yeah, Boobie, I probably owe you about $40, bro.
Now, if you sold one of his tapes, that's more than $40.
My cash,
I'm going by what I sold it for back then. I think I was selling it for like $5.
my cash app is $DJ Boobie 50. Thank you.
Right. It's never too late to donate.
Never too late. You're right.
Did you ever do Twitch, Boobie?
Huh?
Did you do Twitch?
You know, a little bit, but I'm getting ready to go back. I mean, as you see, I got two different rigs in here. This is my turntable setup. I got a green screen set up on the other side of the room, and I'm getting ready to start going mainstream on Twitch. So that's coming like within the next couple weeks.
I saw the setup, and I almost wanted to ask him to rock out live for us for a few minutes, but I'm not even gonna do
I thought
that.
that was getting ready to happen when we started. I was like, oh, is he playing?
As soon as he came on live and I saw the setup, because you remember last week Tons had a similar joint, but Tons was just up close, so we couldn't see what he had going on. But as soon as I saw, I was like, but no, we're not going to do that, man, because this show tonight is about giving you your flowers, bro, and just letting you know how much we love you and appreciate everything that you've done, everything that you've meant for this city, bro.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give you
So
time.
who is similar? Does Baltimore have another Vicious as far as trick DJs? Do people still do that? Do we have somebody? I know I saw a 5-star do something at his memorial performance.
5-star is a monster. DJ Remedy is a monster.
Remedy.
I need to write these names down.
Definitely.
Is that the number 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
5-star. He does a lot of children stuff too, program stuff.
Yeah, he has an engineering degree, and he has a STEM program for the kids. But he is a hell of a turntablist.
Turntablist. Twan is looking at you.
And it's funny. No, I'm writing those names down so I can remember. 5-star Remedy. And it's funny because I'm starting to see, and this is something that I've never seen before. I'm starting to see a lot of little kids, like literally getting, and this isn't to say that it's never happened, but now in this world of social media, it can be put out to the world. I'm starting to see a lot of younger kids, and I'm talking like 8, 9, 10, years old, like really starting to get into DJing. And one of the ones that I'm thinking of right off the bat is Be Easy, his daughter A-Easy. I remember when he started showing her, literally practicing from scratch. And now she's DJing parties. I know Val Jenkins brought her out like maybe the year before last to DJ an Easter party that she was doing for the kids. So it's great to see, because I think people forget that the DJ is so important. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a major important level to the hip hop culture, which is where it started, but it's branded out so much and it's branched out to so big. I think people tend to forget just how important the DJ is. So it's good to see that we have people that are starting them young.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because at some point, DJ Boobie's gonna have to put the turntables down, unfortunately. Tons is gonna have to, stop doing it. And we have to develop that next level of greatness, as far as our DJs here in the city.
I forgot. I'm sorry, Boobie. There's a Boobie part that I forgot, because you and the mic was my number 1 thing. My number 2 thing that you do is you have mastered the buttons on the
controller.
On the controller.
Yes, on the controller. So a lot of people they don't know what half the stuff on their equipment can do because they don't practice, I guess, and research. But you know what all of that does, that
And
again adds another layer.
Pioneer DJ. I'm looking for a sponsorship.
man, let me tell you something. You gotta watch Boobie live. If you don't check him when he goes Facebook live or whatever the case, man, he get the hitting
Ow!
these buttons and all of this. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? And it just, you know what I'm saying?
It
Like
looks a
again,
lot easier than it is. It's
but
not
this
as
is the
easy
crazy,
as it looks.
but this is the crazy part about it. Like as long as he's been doing it, that's a part of the game that he had to learn to implement into his sets. Because like that's only a few, well, more than a few years old, but that hasn't always been around. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. And I like the fact that he still uses the vinyl,
Yep.
you know, as opposed to the little small controller things. I don't understand how people mix on those things, but they do a great job. But I just love the fact, DJ Boobie, that you've been able to adapt, you know, as technology has
You
gone
didn't
on
escape.
to,
Right.
yeah, you've always been able to just adapt. And the one thing that I know is that for all of the times that we see you at the parties, at the clubs, on the radio, on your live, there's probably another X amount of hours that you're putting in that work to master those techniques that we don't ever get to see. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not too old to practice, and I still do.
yeah.
How
Which
often
means
do you touch music every day?
Not every day. Maybe like every other day.
hmm,
Every, sometimes I just come home, take a shower, watch TV, go sleep.
yeah,
But then if I come in this music room, 9 out of 10 chances is I'm gonna turn up more, and it'll be 3 or 4 hours. Not a minute.
yeah,
Or I might just pop up on Facebook Live any time of night. Say, damn, Boobie still up?
yeah.
Still up.
Yeah. And
You
and
better
and you
watch your
still,
thing for the dick down.
you know, you still manage to get out there, man, and rock it for the holidays. You know, you be out. I've seen you out on the back porch with the equipment out there, man. Just, you know, I think you might have a grill next to the turntables, man, and you probably grilling and DJing at the same time sometimes, man. Like I can just tell that after all of these years, man, you still have the passion to not only do the music but to get better with
Yes.
the music. Yeah,
He
and
loves
that
it.
makes because he could definitely take it for granted at this point and say, you know, I can go. My name speaks for itself. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? But he still has that hunger, almost as if he has something to prove when he really doesn't.
To himself, he's in love with the music. It
Yeah,
shows.
There you go. Bingo,
yeah,
bingo, bingo, bingo.
yeah,
He's just fortunate enough to be paid for his services. But
Yeah.
he loves, you just booking him for his time. He likes
Yeah.
the music part.
Money is secondary. Even though it's nice, the money is secondary. It's the love of the music. That's been motivating factor through this whole process. The love of the
Then you
music.
add loving the people that you playing the music for. There's
Right.
another layer. Because you got people that love the music, but they're not playing it for the people, they're playing it for themselves. Boobie makes babies with his music. So he uses it to do things. He has a relationship with all these thousands of people that he knows, like thousands of people that he knows. You know somebody everywhere, Boobie, in all the states?
I might. I might. I
You
have a
might.
lot of people that follow me from everywhere though.
From everywhere. I see it on the Go Lives. I'm like, dang, they from out there.
Mm-hmm.
But when we want to go lives, we all at the party, like literally at the party with them. This is
yeah.
some good stuff. I'm glad we can tell you this
Uh,
stuff.
when this pandemic kicked in last year, and he was real consistent with going live. I think sometimes it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. I had to think about the fact that he was doing this from Vegas at times, and like there's a time difference.
3 hours.
And he's out there rocking, for what might be lunchtime for us, but it's breakfast time for him. And this dude is out here, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
As if he was at a party rocking for 3,000 people down at Hammerjacks. That same energy, that same passion, that same love. You know what I mean? And I've decided, man, just on the strength of these last 2 weeks, that I'm really gonna delve into the Baltimore DJs as much as I can, like maybe once a month, to get you guys up here, different DJs, just to show you guys how much we appreciate the way that you guys have touched our lives, man. But needless to say, bro, like you're right there, at the top, and I appreciate you, man. Like the talk that we had yesterday, bro, I was like, this brother didn't have to talk to me, about anything but getting on this show. But we've shared some moments in the past, and that's why when you were thinking about doing the radio thing, it was a no-brainer for me, because regardless of the situation that I had, I felt like I knew that I could trust my show to come to what I knew was going to be a first-class platform. And even though it didn't end up working, I just appreciated the thought that you were going to allow me that opportunity to bring Baltimore Flavor Radio to you, bro. And if that's ever something that you want to look into doing, in the future, I'll do whatever I can do to support.
So it's not out of the woods. It's definitely on the bucket list.
Okay, that's what it is, man.
So he's in the background too. You know how you ask Boobie the questions about who was important and special and could make him listen. A lot of people go to Boobie, a lot of guys, for advice. On the back end, you don't know that he was one of the people that helped that person stand up and keep going. He's good at that. Man's man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Because you can save some lives.
Yeah. And that's a good way. Like thank you is a good way to kind of segue out of this, bro. Just like thank you for helping us grow up, bro. Like literally.
Boobie, where you at? What you doing? You got any projects or anything that we should know, that the people should know?
Well, I'm getting ready to dip my toe back into the production game. So about hip hop, R&B, Baltimore, and house music.
Okay.
How important is it for you, man, to keep that Baltimore club thing going?
It's our thumbprint. It's our thumbprint. Just like go-go music is DC's thumbprint, Miami-based music is Miami's thumbprint. Baltimore is our thumbprint. It's our identity. We can't lose it. We can't.
And it depends on what entry point we enter the story of Baltimore Club. But I did want to let you know that you were and am very influential in the rising of Baltimore Club. In the beginning, you were there, and you're still there, making sure it gets that exposure. So another salute for that, bro.
Thank you so much.
He gets a spot on the Mount Rushmore. Definitely, he definitely gets a spot on the Baltimore Mount Rushmore as far as music is concerned, bro. But yeah, again, I just want to echo those sentiments with another thank you, bro, because like I said, when I first got on to who DJ Boobie was, I was a mid-teen, 14, 15 years old, and you literally raised me, bro, from
Shut it. He got some big sons.
from seeing you out in the clubs, man, to hearing you on the radio, and buying those mixtapes. I still wish I could come across those joints that got lost in the stores, man. But I just want to make sure that and understand, man, the importance that you played in everything in Baltimore as far as the music and the radio scene has served, bro.
And I love your voice, Boobie.
Oh,
You
thank you.
have a very strong, radio people are in the voices. You have a great radio and MC voice. You can throw it. We can hear you with the mic or without.
Without her, exactly.
But and he's a good interview person. That's why I said tonight was good for me. I know Boobie knows how to have a conversation. A lot of DJs are introverts. They're only powerful when they're behind. When it's time to come, they don't really speak. So it's always good to have a conversation.
Yeah, I've been told I talk too much sometimes, but it's okay.
Hey man, when you like, I don't even think I think when you're really in that mode, not just you, but any DJ that likes to talk on the mic, I think when you're in that mode and you're just really rocking the party, I don't even think you realize how much it's just
It's like
yeah, we just going
for me, it's like an out of body experience. Half the stuff I don't even remember what I said or what I did. It just happened.
yeah.
You'd be surprised how many DJs don't talk. Like, have you ever peeped that out, Tuma?
It's a lot of them. It's
It's
yeah.
a lot of them. And then some of them can't, like, chew gum and would walk.
Right.
So
They
they
have
can't talk and
to
mix
stay
at
focused.
the same time, right?
They gotta stay focused.
Here is I hated my voice at one period in time. I hated my voice so much till when I make my mixtape and I listen back to them, I will always fast forward past my
I do that.
because I never like to hear myself talk. So I had to learn how to embrace my voice and get used to
I heard it doesn't sound the same. When you're listening to yourself, it doesn't sound like what it sounds like to other people. That's what I heard.
Right.
I hate hearing myself on the microphone at church. I hate it. That's why I don't do solos. I refuse to sing a solo at church because it just doesn't. And I can sing, but it just doesn't. It doesn't sound right to me.
Right.
When I hear me coming out of that monitor, it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound right. So I definitely understand it. It takes. You have to get to a point of comfortability in order for you to be comfortable enough to do that. And I'm never going to be at that level. But again,
I literally used to practice what I was going to say.
okay.
I still do it now sometimes. If I'm in the car and driving, sometimes I would do radio break. And always now I still do it. It became habit for me. That's why my delivery and my approach when it comes to that is so fluent because I practice. I still
Fluid.
That's
I
interesting.
never know when I'm gonna have to talk. That's my problem.
right.
It's always, oh, she's here. You get it. Pass her the mic. So I'm still working on that.
Yeah, y'all can have that. Y'all keep y'all mics. I'm going to the bar. That's the way out.
You gotta mix that.
Keep the mic. I'm going to the bar. Shout out to my man DJ Larry. But Boobie again, bro. I really appreciate you taking some time off, man. Me and Nina are definitely gonna hold you to that dinner.
Yeah.
We got that recorded live
All right,
and
BQ.
video and audio.
I promise you will not be disappointed at all.
I'm sure. And just to have that opportunity, man, to just kick it and have fun in the presence is all I need. The food is just icing on the cake for me. So
I don't think I ever seen him sit still before. Like he stood up the whole interview. Do you sit, Boobie?
Well, it gets my bedtime. I'm about to go.
You see him keep it still.
And that's why we're gonna get him out of here, bro. I love you so much, man. I really appreciate you taking this time. Like I said, it's crazy that it's been since the WPB days that we actually had the opportunity to chop it up like this. But I know that it's always gonna be love, man, and it's always great conversation. So again, I appreciate you, man, for being a part of the soundtrack of my life coming up in the city. And just continue success to everything that you do. Let everybody know how they can continue to follow you, even though at this point, I think everybody should know. And then Nina has a special message before we get out of here.
I'm waiting, Nina.
No, let everybody know they follow you first, Boobie.
Oh, me? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm kind of filled up on Facebook right now. I I got a West Coast page too, Keith Anderson too. So if you can't get on my first page, get on my second.
Hold up. He said I got a West Coast page.
I do.
I like that.
We might be ready for a website for you.
And on Instagram is DJ Boobie _B more.
Gotcha. On behalf of Baltimore and beyond, we thank you, DJ Boobie, for sharing the years of your life with us, for providing the music that has been the background for our joyous occasions, for always being there and being a positive contribution to the music industry. Your work will never be forgotten. And if you ever need anything, you know how to do that. You know, we all move fast, but we slow down for the ones we love. So if you need something, always feel like you can just tap us on the shoulder. Have a wonderful year. Enjoy your summer. And we wish you much, much, much success. Thank you for granting us access.
Love you guys. Take care.
Love you too, bro. Have a good one, man.
All right.
Go get some rest.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He ain't gonna rest. He don't keep still.
Yeah, he might mess around and get on live for about an hour now that he's right there by the joint.
And
So
then mix my voice in the mix. And then
we might have to get everybody. We might have to get everybody off of here real quick so that he can jump on live. But yeah, man. These last 2 weeks have meant a lot to me, bro, because as I said in this post, I'm real big on giving people their flowers, man, especially how we're just losing people so suddenly. So I think that this is something, even though access granted is Baltimore is always the home base, man. And I think, we might have to use this platform to kind of, show some love. So I want to reach out to Tommy and see if we can get Tommy to come up here.
Man, I was with Tommy Sunday and he told me he misses me. I can get Tommy with a blink of an eye.
I can send him the link right now. We can do this for another 2 hours. No, I'm just.
What's this day? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. Yeah.
His thing is his studio schedule. Tommy, he does a lot internationally as well. He owns a record label, so that right there. But yeah, just out here.
Work on it. Let me know. Doesn't have to be next week. Doesn't have to be the week after. Whenever we can get him up.
Done.
Definitely on that box list of the DJs, man, because even though they get that love at those parties and in the club, but they don't get this kind of love that I feel like we have been doing the past two weeks. So that's important to me. Thursday's show has been rescheduled till next Thursday, so you have a week off, and all that shit. I guarantee you that you will like the guest. His name is Ray Sidnor. He's an ex-NFL player, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles, but he's not
talking about football.
But he's not coming to talk about football. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you. The football part that I will tell you is that back in 1982, when the Philadelphia Eagles made it to the Super Bowl, he was not able to play in the Super Bowl. He got sent home by the head coach because some things happened. And I guarantee you'll enjoy the conversation. I guarantee it.
Don't be acting like I don't enjoy conversations.
But I know you gotta.
Then
this isn't somebody that you're gonna have to, what I mean? Yeah.
Go over to their house to make them talk. Because some people work better when you sitting in front of them because you could pluck them under the table like, bro.
This definitely won't be one of those. But he's got some stuff going on that we want to talk about. And I'm still waiting. I say this every week, man. These people starting to tick me off a little bit, but I'm still waiting to lock in specific dates for JJ Fad in Oaktown 357. I also
need
believe
a follow-up show.
Oh.
Like where you do 10 minutes with each guest that we already had to see where they are. We've been doing this. Has it been 6 months yet?
December, January, February, March, April, May, 7 months. officially because our first show was
You had
in.
a lot of guests that I would love to know, like briefly, where they are now. They were starting projects when we first talked to them. You know, just how things worked out. The lady with the antibodies testing study for COVID. Remember her, that nurse that was administering the antibody, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't like none of them enough to talk to them again.
Mhm.
I don't like any of them enough to talk to them again. So
I'm sorry, your personal preference.
just,
Is this a good platform to say I need a job?
sure, sure. You need a job?
I do. I just didn't get a job today. And I really wanted that job. I really thought I had it. And so did them. But they said something internal happened that prevented them from going with me. Like you ever did a job interview when you knew you had the job? That's what that situation was. So when I heard I didn't, I was like, really? Like, is it anything I could have done to prove it? They were like, it was so nothing to do with you, politics. So I am looking for steady full-time employment that goes well with being the party girl because some people check out my social platforms before they
Right.
interview me and they go in the room with a whole nother, like she gonna be smoking cigarettes at the death with her panties on, you
She
know,
gonna be
stuff
in
like
here.
that.
She gonna be in
They,
here.
they make the party girl
Smoking
wilder than she ever could dream of being. So everything you need is 7 handshakes away. If any of my friends out there have a wonderful opportunity for me, hit me up. I ain't too proud to beg. Twan, you okay?
Yeah,
You
I'm
supposed to
sitting here.
slide right in
I'm
there
actually
with
sitting
me.
here. I'm actually sitting here thinking because I just saw a hiring list for my department, the Behavioral Health Administration. I was thinking, is there anything any could do? But no, you don't want to do none of that stuff because yeah.
It's
Plus,
booming.
me and you can't work together ever, ever,
You would be why?
ever because you don't bring lunch every. And I need somebody that's
No,
gonna
you
bring
don't.
lunch.
This is the thing. When I was looking at my spot on Franklin Street, lunch was bought to me every day.
Oh,
Just because I ain't making lunch, don't mean we ain't having lunch.
hell, I didn't say
Just
you
because
didn't
I
have
ain't
it.
cook it,
I
don't
didn't say
mean I
you didn't
can't.
have lunch. I said you don't bring lunch. So if
You
somebody
come
is
to me,
bringing
I
you
ain't gotta
lunch,
bring it. They brings it. Shouts
but
out to Brown Sugar. Her birthday was yesterday.
shout
So
out to
I have 2 friends that are caterers, plus my daughter. Like I never cook.
yeah. Happy
But
birthday, Brown Sugar.
yeah,
Happy 4-year anniversary to the Bro Code Baltimore.
awesome. Happy anniversary. I love them.
Major shout out to Malik Titus, who is our official or has been our official Bro Code ambassador, who will be making his debut as a professional boxer in 2 weeks. Shout out to him. We
How
are
old is he? In his 20s?
Malik is probably 20 at this point, if 2021, somewhere around there.
Nice.
He'll be making his professional debut. We may be actually having a watch party from the Eye Care Center that I was talking about earlier on North and Pulaski. So look out for an announcement for that. Unfortunately, I wanted to go to the event and support him, but he said that at this point they aren't selling tickets because COVID is still rampant. But it is going to be live streamed, so we may just stream it live at the center and go. But salute to him, man. He's the true definition of a gentle giant. This dude is like 6'5", probably weighs about 220, 225, and he talks like a mouse. But apparently his right hand is just like
It got some squeak in it.
yeah. So I haven't had the chance to see him box, but he's obviously totally different in the ring as he is out of the ring. But I support anything and everything that he does. But congratulations on just the fact that he's making his pro debut. And hopefully we'll be seeing him on Showtime and pay-per-view and all that stuff somewhere down the road. But
It was a big fight yesterday.
That was not a big fight. Are you talking about Floyd Mayweather?
I don't know who was in it, but I know that's all the men in the world was there. Or that's what they said they were.
Clowns. It was a clown. It was a circus.
Oh.
There was a circus. And I don't know if you know the name Chad Ochocinco, but he was a former NFL wide receiver. And at age, I guess he's probably in his 40s now, he decided that he wants to box. So they had him on the card. I don't want to, fortunately, because of Fire Stick, I'm not paying for pay-per-view stuff, but I don't want to watch a night of boxing where, you know, 40 and 50-year-old retired NFL players and NBA players now decide that they want to box. And so they go and they get into the ring against, you know, people who have been training all of their lives to do this. You know, Nate Robinson did it and he got knocked the hell out. Chad Ochocinco did good for about 3 rounds, and then he caught a right hook and knocked his ass all the way across the ring. I don't want to see X.
I'm so poor. You never too old to do whatever it is that you think you can do.
And you're never too young to be eating out of a or drinking out of a straw, drinking meatloaf out of a straw because you went in the ring and got your.
You might already be missing that too. So I'm glad you seeming like you're a little cooler. I'm glad that worked out for you.
Yeah, because it's cooler outside, so you know. But again, my daughter is getting married in like a little over 5 weeks. And I'm so excited. Happy birthday to my son. He turned 23 today.
Happy birthday.
He took all of the money that I gave him in Skip Town, so I probably won't see him again until like Sunday or Monday or something.
So he needs more money. Right.
Yeah, or when he needs more money. But you know, for a black man to be 23 at this point in Baltimore City, you know, is a major accomplishment with all of the nonsense that we have going on here. So
right.
Enjoy your birthday weekend, son. I know you're gonna be, you know, out there doing your thing. And that's it. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. Nina, love you like a play cousin.
All right now. See you next week.
Now,
love you.
On behalf of Antoine Grant,
Mister,
get off my screen.
See ya.
All right, man. We out of here. We love you guys.